and that is the Detroit Lions, who are on the road at the Philadelphia Eagles, where the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. And the first thing I'm looking at for this matchup is, hey, how does the Eagles offense respond? Because there's, shocker, been a ton in the media about it. Nick Sirianni was like, I'm getting tired to ask questions about it. A.J. Brown's on Jenky Rondo's stream basically saying, if you have me in fantasy, trade me, and I hate this.
Doubled down on that back-to-back days and press conferences.
Yep, basically being like, the offense is terrible and we're not doing our job, and kind of like, maybe I could help you out if you could get me the ball some more. That being said, I feel like the couple times this season when it feels like all hope is lost for the Eagles offense, they put up a pretty good game. And so can they answer that again? And then they'll put up that good game and we'll go, look, they still got it. And then 3 weeks later we'll be here going, oh man, things looking pretty bad for that offense. But I'm looking for that. Can their offense respond and have a good game? And then if Dan Campbell calls plays again, how does that go against a bigger test? Because calling plays against the Commanders is like playing Madden on rookie mode. This is a bit more of a challenge, so I'm curious how that goes. But your thoughts on this game, JP?
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, but whatever coach said, if you've ever played Madden before, you've called plays.
Yeah, who did say that? Oh, gosh.
I can't recall who said that. I think it was in the NFL.
I'll look it up while you talk.
But Dan Campbell, I guess I don't think he's played Madden before, but he did not. It would not have been any different, like Jack is saying, if he had just started playing Madden and was calling plays. Dan Campbell, play calling last week, the Lions scored 44 points. They had 546 total yards. Dynamic offensively. Just like no question about it. Now, that being said, their offense wasn't really an issue. There was consistency questions, of course. They would have drives that would just obviously go down the field and score touchdowns, but they had a ton of 3-and-outs. They don't have as many 3-and-outs, though, as Philly. Philly leads the league in 3-and-out percentage in terms of their drives.
Kevin Stefanski said it.
Kevin Stefanski, okay. Of the Browns head coach, yes. Philly leads the league in 3-and-out percentage this year. So they have been either boom or bust. They have gone down the field and scored and find ways to done that, but in large part, because they refused to block for Saquon Barkley for whatever reason, and an offensive line that has not changed, I think, except for one player in Mekhi Becton, who is now a Charger this year. They have changed one player on that offensive line, and Saquon has gone from, will he break the rushing record, to, is Saquon okay? Which I hate that narrative because it's not been on him. Saquon's chilling.
Well, I'm sure he's not okay. He's probably feeling a little like A.J. Brown is right now in terms of, man, I'm pissed off that I'm not getting my production and this offensive line is not doing its job.
Agreed. I hope he doesn't respond that way. But Saquon is essentially getting Ashton Jeanty level blocking, and no one is really highlighting that. And that is a large part of why they have that 3-and-out percentage. And 3-and-outs is not something you want to do against this Detroit team, because you go 3-and-out, you waste the least amount of clock possible. That means more drives for this Detroit offense. You give this Detroit offense 10 drives in a game, they're going to score 5 times. That's looking at like 31 points. You can't do that, and you can't win that game in Philly with the way your offense is playing if you're going to give up 31 to Detroit. So they've got to be able to control the ball, control the clock, run the ball with Saquon, run the ball with Jalen as well. Obviously, everyone's curious, do they actually give A.J. Brown the ball? That being said, I'm not sure it even matters, because he got the ball in key moments in other games, like the Minnesota game, and then comes out later that week, and he said, using me but not using me, in a Instagram story post with a black screen of just white letters, and a game where he had 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. I don't know. So I don't know if it even matters how they handle that.
Sure.
I really want to see, though, how does the crowd handle that? Is the crowd...
Whose side are they on?
I'm really curious. That's
a great question. Yeah.
I wish, because there's no Philly, like, what's it called? Message board, like there is in college football. You don't have that for the Eagles, at least not one that I can find. So I don't know how Philly fans feel about A.J. Brown in this mess. So I'm really curious, do they cheer when he catches the ball? Do they boo? Obviously, they're going to boo for 3-and-outs in this game, but is it really booing?
It's Philly fans,
for A.J. Brown? I'm really curious to see how it goes. So it feels like mojo-wise, everything is leaning towards Detroit. And yet, I break this down kind of similarly to Texas and Georgia. In this spot, in this moment, in a one-game scenario, who do I trust more? Somehow, still, I trust Philly more than I trust the Detroit Lions. I've seen inconsistency from that offense in Detroit. On the road, I've seen inconsistency in primetime games. I've seen inconsistency either two, most recent primetime games against Tampa Bay and Kansas City. There's great offensive performance, but then really bad for much of the game. Can they answer that in Philly and Lincoln Financial? I don't know. And so I still trust Philly because even if they can't get what they want in the run game, when the game has mattered, middle eight, the first drive of the game, into the game, fourth quarter, Jalen Hurts has been terrific on 3rd and long, finding receivers down the field, whether that's A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. He's been terrific. And so I just trust Philly more in a spot like this, even with the chaos that has kind of ensued this week with A.J. Brown and what he did on the Madden stream and what he has doubled down with in the media. Brother, where was this, a week ago? What was it, a week ago the trade deadline was? Where was this? I don't know. Why did they not trade him at the trade deadline? Because apparently Jalen Waddle Buffalo was prepared to offer a first-round pick for Jalen Waddle.
They did. They just didn't offer the right one.
And A.J. Brown, I think, would have gone for a first-round pick as well, so why wouldn't Philly have just taken a first-round pick? I don't know.
I think it's because as much as he complains in key moments, he still will make a play, so it's kind of nice to have. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I going into picking this game, again, like I said, while I have questions and a team that I feel like should have no more questions, and the coaching decisions and the team vibes with A.J. Brown, I trust Philly more in the spot than I do Detroit. And with the spread at only 2.5, I really like Philly to cover and win, cover the 3.5 or the 2.5 points this weekend. For reference, my spread on the pyramid would be Philly minus 6.5. I don't know where I would lean there, but because of that, take Philly to cover 2.5 easily.
I'm gonna take Detroit. The offense has been a little consistent. I'm gonna trust Texas A&M legend Dan Campbell and calling plays to get 24, 27 points yet again. I think the offense in this game really can be a little inconsistent, and they can still win because of how off the Eagles' offense has been.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, they'll probably prove me wrong, but look at my record. I'm 7-23 in the NFL pick'em, so don't listen to me at all. I make the NFL picks and follow along in the NFL segments because I'm on the podcast and for vibes. Listen to JP when it comes to more knowledgeable NFL opinions. Anyway, give me Detroit to cover the 2.5, win by a field goal on the road. Be kind of a huge feather in the cap of Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And more questions will surround the Eagles, and I'm not too concerned. They'll probably just bounce back at a later date.